For years, we've sworn by building our own gaming PCs, convinced it's the only path to true power and value. But what if a pre-built powerhouse just quietly flipped that script entirely? You know, I was firmly in that camp for a long time too. For most of my life as a PC gamer, the idea of buying a pre-built system just felt wrong. It was always about sourcing parts, agonizing over compatibility, and then that satisfying moment of bringing it all to life with your own hands. But life shifts, right? My world looks totally different now than it did a decade ago. Becoming a father, for example, really recalibrated how much time I had for passion projects like assembling a new rig. So, when I got the chance to test out one of Asus ROG G700 desktop PCs, I admit, I went in with a healthy dose of skepticism. Fast forward a few months, and honestly, it completely won me over. The G700 comes in a few tasty configurations, giving you options like Intel Core Ultra or AMD Ryzen CPUs, paired with an NVIDIA RTX 5070, 5080, or even the monstrous 5090. The unit I've been living with packs an Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, and yes, that top-tier NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090. And believe me, just looking at the parts list tells you a story of serious performance, but it's more than just a spec sheet. This machine is beautifully built, feeling like it was put together by someone who genuinely cares about the final product. Let's talk about that GPU first, because the RTX 5090 in this G700 is an absolute beast. Coming from my old AMD Radeon RX 5600 XT, it was like swapping out a compact car for a rocket ship. In every game I threw at it, the 5090 just devoured frame rates. Take Path of Exile 2, for instance, a title known for its performance quirks. The 5090 effortlessly doubled my frame rate to a rock-solid 120 frames per second without needing any resolution compromises. My old card would often downscale things automatically, even when nothing much was happening on screen. And lighter games like Warframe, they ran flawlessly with every setting cranked to the absolute max doom. The Dark Ages and the Battlefield 6 Open Beta also performed stunningly, consistently hitting over 120 FPS, with only minor dips during the most chaotic moments. It truly delivered the best Battlefield performance I've ever seen on a PC. Now, while the 5090 is incredible, we also need to have a moment of honesty. For a 1440p gamer like me, it's frankly overkill. This card truly shines when you're pushing 4K resolution or tackling extremely VRM-heavy professional applications. So, if you're considering a 5090, whether in a pre-built or for a custom rig, really think about your gaming goals. You wouldn't buy a Formula One car just for grocery runs, right? Moving to the CPU, this is where the G700 experience felt a little less stellar. My unit came with the Intel Core Ultra 7265F, and honestly, Intel's current CPU lineup isn't quite hitting it out of the park. In titles like Path of Exile 2, I noticed occasional frame rate hiccups that seemed directly tied to high CPU utilization. It felt like the Core Ultra 7 was struggling to keep pace with the powerhouse GPU. Independent reviews echo this. The 265F often falls behind not just Intel's higher-end chips, but also several more efficient and cost-effective AMD options. So, if you are eyeing a G700 with a 5090, you might want to spend a little extra for the Core Ultra 9 285 CPU, or better yet, investigate the AMD-equipped G700S, assuming Asus makes those available with the higher-end GPUs in the future. This is one area where building your own does give you more freedom to choose a balanced system. Beyond raw performance, the G700 also presents itself beautifully. Its case features stylish glass panels on the front and side, giving you a clear view of the illuminated components inside. It's got smart airflow with intake fans and a dust filter, and that side panel? It comes off tool-free, making internal access surprisingly easy. And of course, there's RGB lighting everywhere, but it's tastefully done, not garish. You can customize it or even turn it off entirely with the included software. Plus, my unit came with an all-in-one liquid cooler for the CPU, which not only looks cleaner than a massive air cooler, but also adds another touch of customizable light. The cable management in the visible areas is simply fantastic, a stark contrast to the rat's nest I usually ended up with in my own custom builds. And that sturdy GPU mount? Absolutely essential for a behemoth like the 5090, preventing any unsightly sagging. So, let's address the elephant in the room: value. Traditionally, we assumed pre-builts meant paying a premium for both parts and assembly. But my perspective has genuinely shifted. For someone like me, who knows how to build a PC but simply doesn't have the hours to dedicate to it anymore, a pre-built is a far more approachable way to get a top-tier machine. It offers peace of mind, a solid warranty, and that console-like plug-and-play experience. When I priced out a similar custom build using PC Part Picker, the G700 with the 5090, at $5,699, was only about $150 more than the DIY equivalent. That's a negligible premium for the convenience and quality of assembly you get. However, I did notice that the value proposition shifts a bit with lower-tier GPUs, where the premium becomes more substantial. A 5080 G700, for example, was about $800 more than a comparable custom build. So, while the 5090 version feels quite fairly priced, remember to consider your options carefully. Ultimately, the Asus ROG G700 really impressed me. It's a beautifully built, incredibly powerful machine that genuinely makes a strong case for the pre-built market, especially at the high end. It tells us that the landscape of PC gaming is evolving, and convenience combined with quality is becoming an increasingly attractive proposition. Maybe it's time we all reconsidered our biases. What do you think? Has a pre-built ever surprised you? Let us know your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of tech.